You know what? Life can be strange sometimes. When you take a simple idea and you do it on a large scale, it can take on a life of its own, and you never know where it can go. Have you ever taken part in a workplace Secret Santa? How about organizing a Secret Santa game, and then later on, you get interviewed by ABC News New York on the phone, mentioned on the Huffington Post, The Guardian, and many other worldwide sites like Nigerian Daily Times. Well, that's happened to me. The basic concept of a Secret Santa game, you're given someone's name randomly, and you buy that person a gift, usually for a set dollar amount, and most people never reveal who they were Secret Santa for. This can lead to some very funny gifts and great workplace stories. And the amazing thing is when you take this small, fun idea and you decide to spread it as far as you can never be truly prepared for the impact that this can have on other people. Back in 2010, I was having a conversation on Twitter, and the topic of Secret Santas had come up. We both agreed they were a very cool activity to take part in, and I began to wonder, what would it be like if you did it on a larger scale? And how would it work if you did it on Twitter? So I thought about it, and the next day, I started asking people, would you like to take part in a Secret Santa game? Lots of people said yes, and New Zealand Secret Santa was born. Let me ask you, how often has the fear of the unknown stopped you from starting a project? The fear of failing, putting an end to your idea before it's even started. Now, I wasn't 100% sure how any of this was really going to work, but I knew that I wanted to do it, and I knew that lots of people were going to have fun taking part. Luckily for me, through the power of Twitter, I got messaged by someone who was an expert with spreadsheets. They sent me a spreadsheet that helped randomly match people up, and it helped generate all the messages I had to send out to the Secret Santas. People were given the Twitter name and address of their giftee, and it was up to them to research that person by reading their tweets and sending them an appropriate gift. Well, that was the plan in theory, and they were also encouraged to share a photo of the gift that they received to share the fun and excitement with everybody else. 386 people signed up in that first year. People were sending gifts all around the country, and the feedback that I was getting was really positive. But sometimes there were bad Santas. Now, bad Santas, for whatever reason, didn't send a gift. And I was still hearing about those bad Santas in January, February, and March of the following year. Leading up to the second year of New Zealand Secret Santa, I was approached by a nationwide radio station asking if they could run it. I thought it was only fair to ask the community what they thought, so I went on Twitter and I let everybody know what the proposition was. The resounding answer from everybody was no. The community had spoken. So I carried on with New Zealand Secret Santa. And let me introduce you to the team. There's me. While lots of people thought there was a big team behind this, in reality, it was just me. And in that second year, I decided to build a website to help manage all the people that were signing up. It was a lot better than handling hundreds of Twitter DMs all at once. And 696 people signed up in that second year. People were sending gifts all around the country, and I was getting all the messages coming towards me of people excitedly talking about it. I kept matching people up, and I learned from some people this was the only gift they were going to receive at Christmas. I set the limit for gifts at $10. And some people went above and beyond this, both in effort and value. From custom-made mixed CDs, tickets to the rugby league, handmade custom calendars, accommodation in fancy hotels, 2-puck earrings, a stuffed toy shark, gifts for pets, and many mugs. This is just a small selection of the great gifts being sent all around the country. And one of the most heartfelt gifts had to have been a pair of soldered angel wings on a plaque. The Secret Santa had read every post in their giftees blog and had learnt that his father had passed away before being able to make this plaque for his granddaughter. This is a really good example of strong emotional connection happening through social media. And the reaction to a gift like that was, "My New Zealand Secret Santa gift is so perfect, I'm crying. For those who might not know why, read this." And he linked to the blog post where he talked about his dad's sudden death. Heartfelt gifts like this were not uncommon. And seeing people's reactions to this is priceless. It's one of the driving forces behind New Zealand Secret Santa. 860 people took part in the third year. My phone was still going crazy with all the messages heading my way. And when it was time to match everybody up, I was having to take time off work just to deal with sending out all the messages and dealing with all the questions coming back towards me. And after that third year, I began to wonder, did I still want to be doing this? It was almost getting too big for me to handle by myself, and I was wanting to spend more time on my other passion, growing giant pumpkins. So I went on Twitter and I asked, is there anybody out there that would like to run this? Now, I wasn't sure who would be a good fit for this, but I knew that I didn't want just anybody coming in, trying to monetize it and ruin it. I wanted someone that had the same belief as myself and wanted to keep running it to bring happiness to other people. I got a Twitter DM from New Zealand Post saying that they may be interested. But first, they had to go talk to their management team and see if they were allowed to do it. While they were doing that, I was talking to people that I trusted and asking them what they thought about that idea. All the feedback I got was really positive, and New Zealand Post came back and said they were keen as. They were already doing the letters to Santa every year for the kids, and they said this would be a great fit. So after that, we got together and had a conference call, and I talked about how I was running everything behind the scenes. And ever since then, New Zealand Post has been running New Zealand Secret Santa. And New Zealand Post has been a great fit. They've been able to bring a lot of innovations to the game that I started all those years ago. Firstly, all the gifts are sent to one central location. No one has to share their address with anybody else. And secondly, all the gifts are scanned when they're received at the warehouse. If you've been a bad Santa, you're not going to be getting sent a gift. And what they've done is they've got partnerships with businesses to make sure that all the people that did end up with a bad Santa still get sent something at Christmas. Over the years, they've partnered with some great charities like the Wellington City Mission, the Christchurch Earthquake Appeal, the Red Cross, and more recently, Canteen. So all the gifts that would normally go to a bad Santa now go to these great charities. The fun and excitement carry on every year, and last year, just shy of 2,000 people took part. New Zealand Secret Santa got lots of global media interest. With lots of bad things happening all around the world, the media really liked the story of New Zealand Secret Santa, and it made New Zealand the place to be at Christmas time. What project do you have that you haven't started? What's holding you back, and why don't you give it a nudge and see where you can take it? Because at the end of the day, what's the worst thing that could happen?